Tsar Nicholas II, from 130 million subjects to an execution. The Basement, July 17, 1918, 2:15 a.m. A basement with no windows, 20 feet wide, 16 feet long, bare walls, a single weak bulb hanging from the ceiling. Nicholas Romanov stands still, shielding his 13-year-old son, too weak to stand on his own. Around him, his wife Alexandra, his 4 daughters, Olga, Tatiana, Maria, Anastasia, the family doctor, 3 loyal servants. 11 armed men enter the room. Their commander, Yakov Yurovsky, pulls a folded paper from his pocket, unfolds it, reads a short sentence. Nicholas looks at him, confused. What? Yurovsky does not repeat it. He draws a Colt pistol, aims at the Tsar's chest. The first shot goes through his heart. The Tsar of 130 million. 3 years earlier, Nicholas Alexandrovich Romanov ruled the largest contiguous empire on earth, Tsar of all the Russias, emperor and autocrat. 130 million people under his command, 1/6 of the planet's land surface, absolute power. Palaces that functioned like cities, wealth accumulated over 3 centuries of dynasty. And Nicholas truly believed this empire was eternal, that divine will protected him, that Russia was too vast to ever fall. He became Tsar in 1894 at just 26 years old. He was not prepared. But Romanov tradition was absolute. Power passed from father to son, without exception. For 2 decades, Nicholas ruled with an iron hand. He preserved absolute autocracy. He rejected political reform. Russia needs a strong Tsar, he insisted. And for a time, it worked. But beneath the surface, pressure was building. Strikes, protests, food shortages in the cities, workers demanding rights. Nicholas saw it as ingratitude, as a threat to divine order. So he ruled as he always had, ignoring every warning. Time was beginning to run out. The war that bled Russia. August 1914, World War I begins. Nicholas believes it will be quick, glorious. He is wrong. Russia is unprepared, its armies poorly equipped, its generals ineffective. Millions of soldiers are sent to the front, many without rifles, some without boots. Losses are catastrophic. By 1915 and 1916, the war drags on, and Russia bleeds. The economy collapses. Food becomes scarce. Bread lines stretch endlessly through the streets. Then Nicholas makes a fatal decision. September 1915. He takes personal command of the army. From that moment on, every defeat is his. Every lost city. Every destroyed battalion. And the defeats keep coming. February 1917. The capital is on the brink of collapse. March 8th. Textile workers flood the streets, demanding food, fuel, an end to the war. The protests grow. 200,000, then 300,000. And then something unprecedented happens. Soldiers refuse orders. Entire units will not fire on civilians. Some join the demonstrations. The empire begins collapsing from within. Nicholas is hundreds of miles away at the front. He does not grasp the scale of the crisis. When he finally tries to return, it is too late. Rail lines are blocked. His train is stopped. Messages arrive from generals, from allies, from his own family, all saying the same thing: abdicate or die. March 2nd, 1917, Pskov railway station. Inside a train car, Nicholas Romanov signs his abdication. No ceremony, no crowd. The most powerful ruler on earth, resigning alone with a borrowed pen at an improvised table. 300 years of Romanov rule end at 11:40 p.m. The promise is exile, but promises fade quickly. The last days. October 1917. The Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, seize power in a swift, violent coup. This isn't reform, it's total revolution. They want to erase the monarchy completely and build a Soviet state. And Nicholas Romanov, even dethroned, is still a powerful symbol. As long as he lives, the monarchy can be imagined returning.
Keep your voices down.
Over the next 2 years, the family is moved again and again. Each transfer farther, each stop more isolated. First, Siberia, then the Ural Mountains. A house requisitioned by the Bolsheviks. The windows are painted white from the inside. They can't see the street. They can't see the sky. A high fence surrounds the property, armed guards at every point. For the Romanovs, the outside world stops existing. July 1918. Anti-Bolshevik forces, the White Army, close in. Artillery in the hills, gunfire creeping closer. The Whites are loyal to the Romanovs. They want the monarchy restored. Nicholas, even without power, would become a banner, a living threat. Moscow knows it. And Moscow sends a simple directive. Don't let that happen. Inside the house, the family feels the pressure in the air. Alexandra sews for days. So do the daughters. Hours at a time, doors closed. Heavy layers, reinforced bodices, double linings. Something dense hidden inside the fabric. No one asks what, but everyone understands. They're preparing for something. Yakov Yurovsky, appointed commandant just 10 days earlier, is different from the guards before him. Cold, methodical, no sympathy for the imperial family. July 16th, Tuesday. A night that appears normal. Dinner, quiet conversation, then bed. Alexei, 13 years old, hemophiliac, is in intense pain. Nicholas helps him down. A strange stillness settles over the house. Not peace, just silence. Too heavy. 20 minutes, 2 a.m., July 17th. Hard knocks on the door. Yurovsky enters with armed guards. Get dressed and come downstairs. The Whites are bombarding the city. There is danger. This is for your protection. They obey. They dress quickly. Nicholas lifts Alexei into his arms. The boy can't walk. They go down the stairs. Creaking wood. Dark corridors lit by a lantern. No talking. Only footsteps. Breathing. They are led into a basement. No windows. No furniture. Bare walls. Wooden floor. A single dim bulb hanging from the ceiling. 20 feet by 16. Wait here, we're bringing a truck. 2 chairs are brought in. Alexei sits in one, Alexandra in the other. They arrange themselves instinctively. Nicholas stands directly in front of Alexei, shielding his son. Behind him, Olga, 22, Tatiana, 21, Maria, 19, Anastasia, 17. Dr. Evgeny Botkin stands nearby. 3 servants as well. 11 people. They wait. Minutes pass. No one suspects. Then footsteps. 11 men enter the basement. Yurovsky in front. 10 executioners behind him, forming a line. He pulls a paper from his pocket, reads in a cold, bureaucratic tone. Nicholas Alexandrovich, in view of the fact that forces loyal to you continue their offensive against Soviet Russia, the Presidium of the Ural Regional Soviet has decided to execute you. Nicholas turns to him, steps forward. What? What? Yurovsky doesn't answer. He draws a Colt pistol, aims at the Tsar's chest, fires. Nicholas collapses. Then the room erupts. The other executioners open fire at once. The sound is overwhelming in a space that small. Shots ricochet. Smoke fills the basement. Visibility drops to nothing. Screams. Orders shouted. Weapons emptied, reloaded, fired again. Chaos. Then the smoke thins, and something doesn't make sense. The women are still moving, staggering, moaning, but not down. Some shots have ricocheted, others have stopped short. The executioners freeze. Yurovsky barks orders, and then they see why. The heavy clothing, the thick bodices, multiple linings, jewels, diamonds and pearls sewn into layers, weeks of silent work, improvised armor. Yurovsky changes tactics. Bayonets! The men step forward with blades fixed to rifles. Anastasia is on the floor, trying to crawl toward the door, crying. 2 guards reach her. The room becomes close, physical, fast. One by one, the daughters fall. Maria, Tatiana, Olga, then Alexandra. Dr. Botkin is shot at close range. The servants are killed in the corners. Alexei lies near his chair, still breathing. Multiple wounds. Yurovsky approaches, raises his pistol. A final shot. Silence. 20 minutes after the first shot, it's over. The floor is soaked. The walls are scarred. 11 bodies. The Tsar of 130 million people ended in a basement 20 by 16 feet. The bodies are stripped. Kilos of diamonds are found sewn into the women's clothes. They load everything onto a truck, cover it, drive into a remote forest. They try to burn the bodies. It doesn't fully work. They improvise. They destroy evidence the only way they know. Acid, tools, a shallow grave. And for more than 70 years, no one knows where the Romanovs went. No one walked away whole. Nicholas Romanov ruled 130 million people. He believed divine will protected him, that the empire was eternal. History remembered something else. January 22nd, 1905. A winter Sunday in St. Petersburg. Thousands of workers march toward the Winter Palace. Families, children on shoulders, elderly leaning on canes. They are not armed. They carry religious icons, portraits of the Tsar, imperial flags. They ask for bread, shorter workdays, better conditions, an audience with the Tsar, the father of the Russian people. Nicholas isn't there. He left the city days earlier, but his orders are. As the crowd approaches the palace gates, imperial troops open fire. Rifle volleys, cavalry charging, panic. More than 200 die in the snow. Thousands are wounded. Bloody Sunday. That night, Nicholas writes in his diary, "A painful day. Serious disorders forced the troops to fire." Disorders. As if it were an accident. As if there were no alternative. 13 years later, he dies the same way. Unarmed, trapped, in a basement with no windows. The difference? When the protesters cried for help in 1905, no one listened. When the Romanovs were executed in 1918, no one came. An empire collapsed in a room 20 by 16 feet. 3 centuries ended in 20 minutes. No one walked away whole. Nicholas lost an empire in a basement. Alexander lost himself in a single moment of rage. The greatest conqueror in history, undefeated in battle, admired by his men, until one night, fueled by pride and wine, he kills his closest friend with his own hands. And when he understands what he has done, it's already too late. Alexander the Great kills his best friend and loses himself. The link is on screen now and in the first pinned comment. If you want more stories about the exact moment when everything collapses, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who also thinks about history's ironies, and leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.